Radio, VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Basta all hits, all Pinoy. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. 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 VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Almighty God, grant us the courage of Jesus Christ, your Son, to face the coronavirus pandemic with trust, strength, compassion, and resiliency. Give us the grace of the Holy Spirit to free us from fear and anxiety, so we may do actions of help and support and look forward to our healing with hope. We pray for the health workers, food liners, maintenance cleaners, logistics abler, government leaders, and volunteers who continuously come together to deliver our daily needs to survive. Guide us from this time of crisis. Preserve us in peace. Protect the weak and vulnerable, and those who serve the society during this pandemic. This we ask and pray in Jesus' name, our Savior. Amen. Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kantang tatak Pinoy. Kahit nasan ka man, kami ay mapapakinggan. Streaming worldwide, the future of radio in Manila, California, and Hong Kong. This is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. VA1 Radio, Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. Oh, V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program anchors and producers and do not necessarily reflect the policies and position of this station. Samahan na sina Core Evangelista at Attorney Jai Tamayo sa pagpapaunlad ng kalusugan sa katawan, isipan at espiritual. Ito ang Gopalakas! Gopalakas! Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Gopalakas, malusog na katawan, mapayapang isipan. Gopalakas, malinis na paligid, mabuting kalooban. Gopalakas, hangad na maglingkod sa kapwa't kaibigan. Gopalakas, alagaan natin si Inang Kalikasan. Kalikasan na totoo, sa kalikasan at kapwa-tao, isa buhay natin ito. Gopala, Gopala, sugan pangkalikasan. Gopalakas.
Ayan, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay si Chandra and today I am going to be hosting or anchoring Gopalakas. Wala po yung aking kasamahan today, but they will be joining us. Gore actually will be joining us later. So welcome to everybody to the 8th episode of Gopalakas. We hope that you are all okay wherever you are. And you know, in the last week, we were talking about surviving COVID in all aspects, and we had a very special guest na si Doc Ted. I hope that you enjoy that. And for this week, our topic, or what we are going to be talking about this morning, is education for everyone. Again, isa na naman pong napaka-relevant, no, at napaka-importanting topic para sa ating lahat. Can we put up the poster, please, for today's 8th episode of Gopalakas? Ayan. So today also, meron rin po tayong special guest na inimbita para pag-usapan ang ating topic. Pero mamaya ko na siya i-introduce sa segment na news and updates. Bago tayo magsimula, siyempre ang iwan, ang Science of at ang Safe Care, at saka sa mga lahat po ng nanonood ngayong umaga. Batiin lang natin yung mga nanonood. Hello to Matt, all right, and to Nash na bumate sa ating page. Also, hello to Vishnu Maluya. She is, I think, eagerly going to be watching out for the next segment, and you will know why shortly. And wag na nating patagalin, I hope that you'll stay for the next 1 hour or so as we tackle this very important topic of education for everyone, especially during this time. So let's go to the news segment of our show. Let's play the video, please. Ayan. Okay. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ang ating tema for this morning or for this episode is education. Another of the significant changes that the pandemic has brought on is how education is being delivered to millions of learners in our country and also in the world. So according to the DepEd, magre-resume na ang classes. Formal classes should resume by August 24. And public and private schools in the Philippines are encouraged to keep with the times, to adapt with the times, and to keep classes going amidst the pandemic. So at the basic education level, the DepEd is offering schools a menu of alternatives to physical classes. And schools and community learning centers under the DepEd's guidance will be allowed to choose among alternative learning options depending on available resources, syempre, and the health situation in their locality. So mga example po ng mga learning delivery options na inilaad ng DepEd ay ang tinatawag na blended learning, distance learning, homeschooling, at marami pang iba. Syempre, dahil sa sitwasyon natin ngayon, ang face-to-face learning is still not going to be allowed according to the DepEd. So to talk more about the difference between all these different learning delivery options and specifically focusing on one of them that has come to the fore during this crisis, I would like to call on our guest for the week. She is the directress and founder of the Gopala Learning Haven, a family-run center established in 2007. She also started the Cavite Homeschool Support Group in Facebook in 2018. And from 300 members in the last 2 months, naging almost 1,000 members na yung group na to during the lockdown. So she has been invited to numerous conferences and events all over the country to talk about her family's homeschool advocacy and journey. Currently, she is a board member of Abot Tala, a center for self-directed learning for teens, and the current president of the Homeschool Association of the Philippine Islands, or HAPPY. It is my pleasure to welcome to the show Laksmi Maluya, otherwise known as Teacher Purple Laksmi. Hi, Laksmi.
Good morning! Hello, Chandra! Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng nanonood dito sa programa ninyo.
Ayun. Thank you so much for coming and show. So first things first, I know some people call you Teacher Purple Laksmi. What's with the name?
Well, kasi yung mga kung nakikita niyo ang aking background, mahilig po ako sa purple. And napansin ito ng mga estudyante ko, kaya tinawag nila ako Teacher Purple. From then on, na-stick na talaga sa akin yun.
Okay. And yun ang pangalan ng blog nyo, di ba?
Yes.
Yung blog mo. Oo, yun na yung ginamit mong pangalan. So very, parang fun, no? And happy name for a blog. So could you help explain to us, Teacher Laksmi, the different learning alternative options that the DepEd is suggesting for school year 2021?
Okay, thank you. I will try my best. Basically, there are home-based learning. Yung majority of the learners will do the home-based learning. Unahin ko na muna yon kasi yun yung karamihan na gagawin ng mga bata this school year. So, home-based learning, meron siyang 3 klase. Meron siyang online, and then meron siyang modular, and then, distance learning, and then blended. The online schooling is obviously through the online platform, and blended is a combination of online and modular, and then distance learning is modular. So may mga modules yun na papauwi sa mga bata. Okay, so nakikita niyo sa screen niyo, dinifferentiate namin yung home-based learning at saka homeschooling. And there is one very significant difference between the two. Yung home-based learning po, it is teacher-led. Galing sa eskwelahan ang directive and then to the teachers. While homeschooling po is parent-led. The parents has the capacity to modify or add on to the choose the materials or add on to the curriculum. So dito kinompare namin, babasahin ko. Home-based learning, it is teacher-led, and online or modular or blended. And then mode of lesson will be real-time, and then scheduled, live with social interaction, engaging, and then the communications will be through instant messaging or email or messenger. And ang naiba lang dun sa homeschooling po, kung napapansin nyo, is that it is parent-led. And the rest po, halos pareho na. Okay? Kasi yung homeschoolers po, basically are doing what learners are doing also in school. Pero yun nga lang, ang difference, before this pandemic, dalawa yung difference. It is parent-led and it is home-based. Pero dahil po ngayon, dahil sa pandemic, lahat po nasa bahay na. Ang magiging difference is that it is parent-led and teacher-led.
Okay, so yun halos lahat pareho lang, yung sino lang ang nagpapatakbo, no? Teacher Laksmi, ang difference, no? And thank you for clarifying that kasi maraming ang hindi clear sa role ng parent lalo na sa homeschooling. So and I know this is what you are advocating, right?
Oo nga. Minsan nga may tawag kami, tinatanong, meron po bang teacher pag nag-homeschool? So talagang nalilito pa sila. Hindi talaga nila pa na kukuha yung difference. May mag-i-inquire sa amin, yung pala ang ini-inquire nila is the online schooling. So, I would like to share with the audience that yun po yung difference. No? There's online schooling that is teacher-led and parent-led.
Okay. And then, so yung dalawang klase na to, home-based learning and homeschooling, pareho yang pinopromote or ini-encourage ng DepEd ngayon, di ba?
Yes.
Is there a difference ba? I mean, for all schools, is it applicable to all schools or?
Okay, so hindi po. Hindi pa siya, yung homeschooling, hindi po siya talaga nai-implement sa buong Pilipinas. Kasi out of the survey, mas marami pa rin pong mga Filipino families ang namili dun sa home-based learning. Karamihan po kasi hindi pa talaga ready dun nga sa parent-led na instruction or facilitation of learning. So, pero there are certain schools who are offering it, but yun nga, very limited pa as of now. But the homeschool provider are increasing in number during this year. Kumbaga dumadami na yung homeschool provider na magiging available to offer homeschooling.
Okay, that's good to know. Oo. And so, can you tell us, Teacher Lakshmi, how did you get started ba on this homeschooling journey of yours?
Well, babalik tayo na sa unang panahon. And I'm a homeschooled child. Hinomeschool ako sa panahon ng 1980s. And during that time, hindi pa uso si homeschooling. Kaya ngayon ko lang na-discover that it is now called independent homeschooling. Actually, simula na nag-join ako sa Happy, tsaka ko palang natutunan yung mga different terms about homeschooling. So, yung aming pag-homeschool pala ay nasa category ng independent homeschooling. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang DepEd accreditation. But I was able to go to college because of a Philippine placement test. So, yun yung aking naging daan para mag-college. And dahil dito, maganda yung experience ko dun sa community because it was a family and community effort. Yung lumaki ako na maraming naging tatay, nanay, na naramdaman ko na they really care for me and they want to help me learn or be better in the future. So talagang, and because of this, I want to pass it on to other families. I want to pass on the what homeschooling is all about. I want to share it with as many families as I can. Kaya naman binuksan namin ang Gopala Learning Haven, and then yun din ang reason ko bakit ako ngayon naging Happy President.
So you of course pass it on to your family. I know all your children are homeschooled, di ba, Teacher Lakshmi?
Yes,
And pati ba sa mga cousins nila, sa buong pamilya, basically?
Yes, because nga nagustuhan namin as siblings yung homeschooling, lahat kami ngayon nag-homeschooling. So yung mga pamangkin ko, mga anak ko, nag-homeschool lahat sila.
What would you say ba, Teacher Lakshmi, is yung parang pinaka-core principle ng homeschooling?
Well, the core principle of homeschooling is really intentional parenting. It's a extension of intentional parenting. Nadagdagan lang siya ng academics. Many parents think na mahirap mag-homeschool kasi hindi sila marunong magturo nitong subject na to or that subject. Pero sa totoo lang, it is more of passing on values, discipline, and character to your children rather than the academics. Kasi sa academics, in our case, in academics, we do team teaching with other families. So may mga parents na nagtuturo certain subjects. Kung hindi talaga kaya ng parent ko ituro si math, si science, or si English, other parents take turns in teaching it. So it's really more of passing on the values to the children, teaching them life skills. So it's really more than academics.
And I like what you said, no, intentional parenting. Napakaganda nun. And it parang aside from that, sometimes kasi yung main ng mga parents is that kung hindi ko kaya, sinong gagawa? Pero you just explain, no, that you have other parents who can help. You have a whole community that is part of this learning journey of your children. So aside from that, Teacher Lakshmi, what are the other benefits of homeschooling?
For the benefits of homeschooling, I would like to share our video that we prepared as a family.
Oh, okay. So we have a video. All right. Sige po. So we'll get that video on.
Magandang araw po sa mga nanonood at sa mga manonood pa. Ako po si Ronald Maluya. Ito ang aking kabiyak na si...
Ano naman po ay si Laksmi Maluya.
Nandito po ako ngayon para ipahagi sa inyo ng ating buhay bilang homeschoolers. Ang role ko po bilang ama o aligi ng tahanan ay ang pagdidisiplina ng ating mga anak para sila maging mga magalang, tulungin, responsable, at siyempre pinaka-importante sa lahat ang magpapagmahal sa Diyos. Laksmi?
Bakit po kami nag-homeschool? Ito ang madalas na nagtatanong sa akin. Nag-homeschool po kami dahil ako po ay nakaranas ng isang magandang homeschool experience nung ako ay bata. Ako din po ay homeschooling. Kaya nung kami ay naging mga magulang, nag-usap kami mag-asawa at nag-desisyon kami na i-homeschool na rin ang ating mga anak. nandito po kami para ibahagi sa inyo ang aming buhay bilang homeschool parents. At sana sa aming journey, kayo ay matuto sa homeschool.
Ang kasunod po namin ipakilala ay yung tatlo naming anak na babae na in-homeschool po namin mula nung maliliit pa sila hanggang ngayon. Ang panganay po ay si Visto na nasa college na po ngayon.
Ang pangalawa naman po ay si Vaishnav Dasi. Siya po ay nag-take ng gap.
At saka po ang bunso natin na si Mana Mali Gopalakas na ngayon ay grade 9. Okay po. Maraming salamat! See you!
Ay, naputol.
And I'm school to high school as well as my sisters. And I know that this journey has helped me know my purpose, helped me build strong connections with my family and friends. I really know what I want to do with my life. Having said that, I can move forward as a strong, confident, and God-loving student in my college days ahead. I hope that our journey helped you know that homeschooling can be a choice for you.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Vaishnava at kakagraduate ko lang po ng senior high school at nag-take ng gap year bago magplano ng college. Masasabi ko po na ang homeschooling ay nagbigay ng malaking tulong sa akin sa iba't ibang aspeto ng buhay. Tulad ng pag-explore ng aking creativity sa arts, crafts, and music.
Okay.
Nabigyan din po ako ng madaming oras ng pag-aralan ang aking purpose sa buhay as a servant of God.
Hi, my name is Mali, and in homeschooling, I get to do the things I like play sports and pursue archery, and learn music and arts, and get to travel and spend time more with nature, and get to hike and catch snakes, and learn about everyday life. Bye!
Salamat po.
Ayun, nakakatuwa naman yung mga anak mo, Lakshmi. No? And from the video, we can see that, ayun, their learning is very well-rounded in terms of, what they study. And in fact, my question tayo dito, Teacher Lakshmi, maybe you can answer it now. Kasi it says here, ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng homeschooling ay parent-led? Pwede po bang i-elaborate po?
Ibig sabihin po ng parent-led, you are basically in charge of your child's education. Kasi ikaw ang magpapatakbo ng day-to-day. Ikaw ang magpaplano kung anong aaralin in a daily basis. Meron tayong guide from the school. Kung ikaw ay enrolled sa provider, kasi nga nabanggit ko kanina, di ba, independent homeschooling kami. So, being an independent homeschooler, kami, basically, our parents were on their own. Sila yung nagagawa ng curriculum, sila yung nagagawa ng schedule, ng pagpaplano, ano yung magiging pag-aaral namin. Pero pag may homeschool provider, still, merong guide pa galing sa homeschool provider na binibigay, basic curriculum guide or syllabus or assistance. Pero sa bahay, ikaw pa rin as a parent ang magsischedule ng gagawin nyo. Ano yung aaralin. And then for most families or most parents, sila na rin yung nag-add on ng mga, kunyari, extracurricular activities or tutorial services kasi nabanggit ko nga na hindi naman kailangan lahat na ikaw ang magtuturo. Minsan, pwede kang mag-ask ng help sa relatives or meron tayo ngayon na homeschool support services. So, isa yun sa mga under sa Happy. May mga homeschool provider tsaka homeschool support services. These homeschool support services naman provide extracurricular activities and tutorial services. Kaya sa ngayon lumalaki na yung help ng homeschool community. Ang kailangan lang sa pagiging parent-led is you as a family or a parent, alam mo kung bakit ka mag-homeschool. You will be guided on your why. Like for example po, our parents homeschooled us because they wanted to pass on our yoga values to us, their yoga values to us. So they wanted us to grow up in an environment where we can experience these values and discipline. So, you as a parent, meron kang why? Bakit ka mag-homeschool? And many parents have great, yun yung pinaka nagda-drive sa kanila. Bakit nila gusto i-homeschool? And here in the Philippines, majority of the parents really want to be intentional and want to pass on their religious practices to their children. And so many more other reasons. So, kaya siya parent-led kasi yung decision galing sa parents.
Okay. So Teacher Lakshmi, for somebody na walang alam at all in terms of homeschooling or where to start, how can you advise them, how to get into this? Should they do basically? What's the first things they should do and next and onwards?
Well, research. Yun po yung lagi namin sinasabi, research. And kaya po ako naka-happy t-shirt ngayon because we just finished a 1-week feature of homeschool providers and homeschool support groups on our Homeschool Association of the Philippine Islands FB page. Kung kayo ay hindi mo pa alam kung anong gagawin mo, inimbitahan namin ang mga homeschool providers namin na members at homeschool support groups para sila ay mag-present ng kanilang mga programa at serbisyo. Para isang click na lang, nandun na lahat ng mga iba-iba. Makakapili po kayo at the same time matututo kayo doon.
Okay. So for you, Teacher Lakshmi, yung pangalan ng sa inyo is Gopala Learning Haven, ano?
Yes.
Please let our viewers know how to reach out or to reach Gopala Learning Haven if they are interested.
You may visit our Gopala Learning Haven page or you may also visit the Happy page kasi nandun din po kami.
Okay. So last question na tayo, Teacher Lakshmi. So what is your vision for homeschooling in our country?
My vision is for at least the families here in the Philippines to, if they cannot really fully embrace the homeschool life, at least we can share the benefit of homeschool, which is intentional parenting. So yun po yung aming gustong i-share sa mga parents dito sa Pilipinas. We want to advocate about family, the importance of family and the importance of the connection of family to the community. And I would just like to share this verse that I have prepared because I really hope that we can grow the homeschool community here in the Philippines. And I would like to share this verse. To make a difference in society, we need to make a relevant change in each family. And in order to transform a family, we need to see each member as individual persons. Nurture that person to be an enlightened, happy individual with wisdom, spiritual love, and compassion. Kasi kadalasan, we are always grouped. Okay? Lagi tayong nako-compare as a group, na-generalize tayo as a student, lagi tayong nakikita as a class. So, importanteng makita tayo as individual persons and help each individual's needs so that they can become better persons.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Teacher Lakshmi, for your time and for explaining so clearly, and nalinawagan talaga ako in terms of what it is, to mean that somebody is homeschooled and why, the importance of why we should be doing it, and the freedom and actually independence that we have, in forming the whole learning experience for our own children. So thank you so much, Teacher Lakshmi, and I think that this will not be the last that we will be seeing you on the show. Looking forward to having you more on this show in the future for other episodes. So maraming salamat, and I wish you all the best in your homeschooling advocacy and with Happy.
Thank you so much for having me, and more power to Gopalakas. Bye.
Salamat. Bye. Okay, ayan. So we are now going to go on a short break before our next segment. But before that, I'd like to say hi to some of our viewers. Hi to Michelle. Hi to Mike who said magandang informative na umaga. Gopalakas. Hello to Jay. Good day. Gopalakas. And also hi to Dixie, who is watching all the way from La Union. And then, hello Ren, good morning. Sabi ni Elenet, di Makulangan from Doors, DG, good morning Ren. And also to Ana Kunanan. So we'll be back after a few short minutes. Don't go away. Okay, while we are waiting for the video break, sa mga nanonood, please stay tuned because we will be discussing more about education for everyone. And we will be going on to our next segment after the break, which is called Living Wise. And in this segment, we are going to talk more about homeschooling and education and be sharing wisdom quotes in relation to education. So while we're waiting for the video to load, again, I'd like to say hi. Chris is saying, good morning, Gopalakas. Hello, Chris. And to Mai, hello also to you in La Union. Kamusta kayo dyan? And we'll be seeing you later also, I believe, on this show. So sa mga meron pang tanong, no, specifically about education, if may tanong rin po kayo for Teacher Purple Lakshmi, you can send it in our comments, in the live comments, or you can type it on Facebook and we'll try to answer it or get your answers for it. So it seems that we are having some problems with the playback. So we'll proceed into the second segment of our show, and that is Living Wise with Tita Marisa, Tito Toby, and Tita Socorro.
Hey, good morning.
Yan.
Morning.
Good morning po.
Hi, Chandra.
Okay, so,
All right, so we begin.
Okay, shall we, anyway, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa mga tagapakinig, no? At kami nagagalak, no? Na nandito na naman kami. We can share some more information to you regarding, today is a very good topic, you know, education. You see, right now, even our government is trying to adapt and grapple with issues on how to educate close to 24 million students starting this August, you know. So ito ay malaking napakahirap gawin. Unang-una, enrollment na lang dahil because of the pandemic, sa dami ng mag-e-enroll, mahirap nang gampanan yung responsibility na yun, how to make people maintain. At least naka-online ng enrollment ngayon, yun ang kagandahan na ginawa ng ating gobyerno.
Very convenient.
So, convenience for
At
others.
saka
So
safer.
unnecessary exposure is, you know, considered. So anyway, alam nyo, ang alternative sa mga homeschooling activities natin, maraming paraan Alam nyo, dahil nagbago nga ang ating mga society in these many years, patong araw sa totoo lang, when things were a lot more simpler.
Homeschooling talaga. Ang original.
Way back when.
Way back when, di ba? Kumbaga, the responsibility of educating your child falls on the responsibility of the parent.
Di ba si Jose Rizal? Tinuruan ng nanay.
Yung ating ano nga yung ating
Kahit naman
national
sa
hero.
tribes, di ba?
Oo.
Parents teach their children talaga.
Siguro kayo rin and Tita Marisa has something to share because
Oo.
she has gone through the homeschooling program
Yes.
and you followed it for your children.
Yes,
di ba?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to talk about the homeschooling kasi I know now maraming magulang pero medyo nagitla, 'di ba? I have to take care of my kids. Ako magtuturo, hindi naman ako teacher, 'di ba? So, I want to encourage, the mothers na it's
And
okay.
fathers.
Oo, and fathers, yes, of course. The parents are natural teachers, of their own children. Kami ni Tito Toby, no, at some point in our life, naisip namin na tayo na lang turo ng mga bata, no? We felt it was safer. Even at that time, you'll send your kid to school na magaling. Pag uwi, nahawa na ng sakit, no? Walang COVID pa. Pero just, he comes home with measles or chickenpox. So,
May bullying din
yes,
from
there's
the other
bullying. Oo,
classmates.
there are many things. Sometimes they come home, natuto na magmura. Saan mo nakuha yan? Di ba?
Ang dami rin napipick up, di ba?
Yes, so,
Di ba tayo sa mga eskwelahan nung araw, kahit na during our times when we were in school, they were always concerned, especially pag uwian na, di ba? Yung public, yung sa labas. Maraming
nakakatakot. Kung, you're thinking how safe will they be. Anyway, so, nung na-decide namin, of course, si Toby, he was working all day. So, the responsibility of teaching them during the day was mine, no? On weekends and whenever he had time, he would teach them other things na hindi ko kaya. What I did was, at that time, meron naman correspondence school eh. Kasi actually, ang learning at home is not a new thing in the world, no? In other countries, is very common, no? So at that time, nakahanap ako ng correspondence school. Siyempre, wala pang internet noon, ano? So, correspondence through snail mail. Talagang, that's how you stay in touch with the school. So, ang gagawin mo lang naman, no, this is an easy option actually for parents. Kasi, may curriculum na yung school. You can choose what school you want kasi there's so many, no? The school I chose, they will send, mag-enroll ka, no? And there's easy payment plans. You can pay the whole year if you wanted, kung kaya, but you can also do installments. And then once you pay, they'll send you the box, for each child, each grade level. Meron na siyang, andun na yung curriculum niya. Andun mga libro, they'll send you
Lesson plan
even.
for the day. Ito
Yes,
ang
it
subject
comes-
matter for the day.
It comes
There's a
with the
guidebook.
student manual.
Yeah.
And also a teacher's manual. So whoever will act as the teacher, in my case, ako, no, the mother. If you're a stay-at-home father, or you're a single parent, whoever the parent is that's available all the time, siya yung gagawa niyan, no? Alam mo, there's no need to freak out kasi ang ganda naman ang mga correspondence school. Clear na clear ang mga
Beautiful
instructions.
materials.
Very easy. Ang ginagawa lang namin, no, okay, kasi I had 4 kids, no? Siyempre, sabay-sabay yan mag-aaral,
Iba-ibang level.
Iba-ibang level yan. But it's doable, ha? I do my homework rin. I read through their lessons for the next day. I read it. Let's say today, kahapon pa lang chinek ko na kung ano mga kailangan nilang gawin, kung anong materials nila. So we all sit at the table. Everyone has their spot. And then we have rules. Siyempre, you should have your things that you need for that day. And then kailangan quiet ka mag-work. If you need help, that's when they raise their hand. That's my sign na, okay, lapit ako dun sa bata na yan, no? Tulungan ko siya. At that time that I started this homeschooling, 3 of my children marunong na mag-read. So that's easier, because alam na nilang magbasa ng kanilang instructions. They call me lang if they need help. So my youngest, that's one I had to spend a little more time with. But when children study together, ang dali nilang matuto kasi, like my youngest, no, ang bilis niya natuto mag-read kasi excited siyang gawin yung next one na eh. If I'm busy, she's like, talaga nag-aral siya ng new words, so that she can learn it faster.
At saka minsan napipick up nila yung sa kapatid nilang isang mas higher level.
Yes.
They learn something from them,
Yes, oo. At saka, they learn that they need to take turns. And they learn to respect each other. That if mama is with my kuya, okay, I will wait my turn. No? Or I'll find the next, maybe I'll move to another subject that I already know what to do. Yeah, so like Lakshmi was mentioning values, the values are there already. You will learn it, as you go along. Also, like the mother, like I was spending time to teach them. So they can feel that you care about them, you love them because you're making that time to explain things to them. Yeah. So it's like it's really part of homeschooling that values are integrated into everything, no? And don't worry, masasanay din kayo. Kung sa umpisa, medyo maninibago kayo, sometimes you don't know what to do. Right now, ang dali naman makahanap po ng tulong kasi may era na tayong internet. You know, if you if you reach a point where, what am I gonna do? There's always support system around. Of course, you can always call
Si
Teacher
Laksmi.
Lakshmi.
Oo.
Yes, you
The
already
support
have
group.
that support group. Yes.
Actually, because of the information technology, the access to information is so
Wide.
lawak, it's so
Yes.
wide, you know.
Oo.
It's just being able to filter it. Kasi kadalasan, when you send a child to school, right? Mas lalo kung immature pa yung mga bata, hindi pa sila marunong maggumawa ng mga tamang decision. Hindi naman palagi kasama nila yung teachers nila, nasusupervise sila.
Tsaka pag malaki yung class group,
Oo.
no?
Yes.
I mean, 60 students.
50,
Sometimes they don't
60.
get the
Nanineglect
attention
na
they
yung
need.
iba.
Kaya
Yes.
quality time na kailangan na ibinibigay dun sa isang bata. So yung development niya or kasi minsan ano yan every child is an individual. They
Yes.
have their different abilities and capacity to understand things.
And
Isa pa,
learning styles. Iba-iba
Right.
rin learning style
some
nila.
kids are a little bit more inclined to creativity. Gusto nila art. Iba yung tanaw nila sa pag-aaral.
Yes.
Iba naman talagang, magaling sila sa numero.
Yes.
Di ba? They thrive on numbers. May mga kanya-kanyang potential yan
Yeah.
Kadalasan, hindi natin discover dahil sa dami ng estudyante sa isang classroom, hindi mo makita ngayon yung talagang talent ng inyong sarili, yung mga bata. The teachers are just going through trying to, okay, I need to get over my lesson for today. You know?
So, that's the advantage of a parent being a teacher. Kasi syempre, kilala mo yung anak mo. Alam mo yung kanyang moods, alam mo yung talents nila, yung kanilang way of doing things, naturally, kung ang bata likes a certain subject, mabilis niya yan gagawin. No, then she can go to another subject. Ang homeschooling, the advantage is kids go at their own pace. So if they're fast learners, mabilis nila yan matatapos. No? And one thing I want to clarify, sometimes the parents think, what, in school, they spend 8 hours studying. Paano ko gagawin yun? 8 hours ako magtuturo. Actually, hindi ganun ang nangyayari sa homeschool. Like for me, di ba, we're all together in the classroom. Our classroom was around our kitchen table, no?
No.
Yeah, we had the dining table.
May
The
library
dining
naman
table.
tayo.
Yes, we also had the library.
Any part of the house can function.
My
as a
children
classroom.
love libraries. When we have, ang sabi ko sa kanila, okay, we'll do schooling now. It's time for our book learning. And then, so everyone goes at their own pace. Usually fast sila. Kasi pag natapos sila maaga, then they can do their favorite activities. Like if they want to go out, we can play. Yeah, or they can learn languages. My children learn languages. Yeah, they learn how to play music. Yeah, for example, my children learn, meron nag-aral ng guitar, meron nag-aral ng piano, they learn the flute,
Violin.
violin, yes, oo. And then, my husband, when he was available, he had a schedule for teaching them martial arts. No, they had taekwondo, and they had sports. Oh my God, favorite nila yan. No? So anyway, because we were always together, learning together, because I had to learn also, to help them. Certainly, I can't remember everything. I don't know everything. So I would have to do my studies also to explain certain things to them. So together we were learning together, and they could see na, oh, mommy, she's already a mommy, pero nag-aaral pa rin. So parang it woke up in them, well, that's the wrong term, but it made it so that they knew that learning is not just when you're a child. Learning can be a lifelong endeavor. No? So we were learning together. One of our favorite activities were, okay, we're going to the library. Even if we had the library at home, we were going to the community library. No? When we're in the library, para kaming nasa heaven. Di namin naisip yung oras. So anyway, so my children grew up as very good learners. They loved their schooling. And now that they are parents, they're also homeschooling my grandchildren. So everybody is continuing this kind of learning.
Tradition of homeschooling.
Yes, and lifelong learning. can we show? I have some pictures of these are already my grandchildren. They're also homeschooling. For example, one thing that is important for parents, especially with those with young children, one thing you should do is to read to them. When you read to a child, it becomes easier for them to read. Yeah. And because they are reading, they will also become better writers. Kasi nakikita nila yung tama di ba? Tapos, capitalize yung umpisa nun. Meron ditong period, dyan yung comma. It's very natural for them to learn all that, yeah. And then, when the kids are learning together,
Ayan, pictures natin.
this is a picture of a drum class. It's called taiko. It's a drums ng Japanese. Yeah, my grandson, who's also homeschooling, he has time to learn these instruments. But he's also learning the modern drums, yung electronic.
Drum
oo.
set ng mga
Yes.
banda-banda.
Oo. And then sa next slide,
Yeah, we have another picture.
we have another picture.
Oh,
That
ayan.
one I'm reading to my granddaughter. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, where kids, these are my grandchildren learning together. When kids learn together, they enhance each other's learning
Yes.
Nagaganahan sila. And then sometimes what they learned about during their academic period, pag naglaro sila, ganun din naman, kunyari they're in the classroom. They're helping to teach each other. Okay, then also part of the learning of my children, and I advise all of you parents to do that, is to let your children do chores. Give them something that's their responsibility. When we do everything for a child, they don't really learn the satisfaction of having done something. Yeah, pag may chores sila, they learn how to do things. They learn to be responsible. They learn the value of cooperation. They learn that, when you live with others, that you should respect them and do something for them also as they do things for you. May exchange. Yeah. And then also, skills, no? Like sewing. See, this is now, on the internet, you can get all these sewing kits na. It's not really a needle that can hurt them, but they get the skill, yeah? I believe that these skills are very important. Mga sewing, carpentry, in sewing, don't think that's only for the girls. Also, the boys should learn that. My daughters, ang galing sa carpentry. Marunong mag-fix ng bike, There's so many skills that they can use throughout their life.
Pati
Yeah.
plumbing nga, yung anak
Yes.
mo marunong ng
Oo, pati plumbing. Okay, so, and then I also taught them early about the environment. So here you can see this is already, my grandchildren. Even now they're learning about the environment. It's the best time to start when they're young so that they can grow up better than we did, Tayo napabayaan natin yung environment. Now sila na ang mag-aalaga ng environment. Like my granddaughter you saw there with the turtle, sabi niya sa akin, she has her own little video cleaning up the ocean because she cares about the animals there.
Nice.
So I hope that my short talk gave you a little bit of courage to take on the job, or I don't see it as a job. It's actually an adventure, Take on the new adventure of helping your children learn while they're at home.
Actually, may I add that my professor in college in education, he narrated his life story that after the war, the Americans took over, no?
Yes.
And they needed teachers. Kulang sila sa teachers who could teach English. So he just graduated from grade 6.
Yes.
He was hired by the government to teach.
Yes, I know.
After
There's
grade
that
6,
program.
So, pwede naman magturo yung mga parents.
Yes.
Ang part of maybe since many parents would have questions on this. Kadalasan, these were the common question asked of us. How are your children socially?
Oo nga. Very common na question
How would
nga
they
yan.
adapt to the
Oo.
the social fiber component of society? Hindi ba sila parang ina-isolate?
Mm-mm.
That's why there are even support groups. One has to understand that just because you're homeschooling, kasi pagdating mo naman ng eskwela ng mga bata, individual pa rin naman, kanya-kanya pa rin grade eh.
Oo.
They're just in a classroom setting. Iniba nyo lang naman yung environment nila eh.
Mm.
But pagdating sa development,
Yes.
no? Pagdating sa kanilang social development, one thing, if you know exactly you're targeting what is really important for your children. Because on a young age, as parents, tayo, inalaga natin yung mga anak natin, we are acting as leaders to them and teachers.
Mm.
Teacher or leadership position yan eh. Ang parenting, leadership position yan palagi. Now, when you start to take matters as far as educating your child is concerned, you're basically taking the parenting level into another, kumbaga yung parenting skills mo in another level ngayon. Ganun yan eh. The responsibility is quite more comprehensive in a way, but at least at the same time, it gives you the satisfaction that actually you could dictate or at least manage how your child is going to grow up into the world. Kasi pag yan 3 years old, 4 years old, you have at least 12 years to 16 years to prepare them. Kasi pagdating ng teenage yan, especially 17, 18 yan, gumagawa na ng gusto niyan, gumagawa na ng tamang decision yan sa sarili niya. Ngayon, if you actually took the time to mold your child, to become leaders per se, starting with discipline, responsibility, ano yan, importante yung values na yun eh. Kasi minsan, sa dami ng estudyante nga, tingnan nyo na lang yung mga ibang eskwelahan, thousands of students, ang hirap i-manage na yung learning environment mas lalo. Halos wala lang tayo masyadong control as parents. Hindi ba? Titingnan mo yung mga environment na meron. Dito pa sa Pilipinas, very limited yung ating mga, mas lalo sa mga public schools. Yung mga facility very limited. Ang sports program nila, very limited. Ang social interaction nila, limited. Ang arts nila, very limited. Mas lalo pag kayo pumupunta na sa mga probinsya, very limited na ang facilities na meron. Kunyari, meron kayong isang soccer ball. Ilan maglalaro ng soccer ball na yon? O minsan marami nga dito sa probinsya, talagang, soccer? Ano yan? Ganun ang reaction ng mga bata. Tapos pagdating sa art, kulang na kulang din talaga. Kasi I can understand how the struggle, kasi very limited nga yung facilities ng many of the educational institutions, especially in the public level, in the provincial level, yung mga liblib na lugar. Dapat ito, tanawin natin ngayon, baguhin natin yung tanaw natin. Kasi there's always something that everybody can contribute to. Alalahanin nyo, in a family, syempre, if the parents take the responsibility of educating their children, they will find that too. Yung makikita nila, nagkukulang ako sa social activities. Alam mo, I always say this, when people ask me about how we homeschool their kids. I recognize it takes a community to raise a child.
Oh, it's just as Lakshmi mentioned
Yeah,
earlier.
You
Pero-
cannot huwag niyong isipin na kayo lang.
Oo. Si Laksmi Maluya din, meron din naman siyang monthly program where nakakasama yung mga homeschool children
Yes,
together.
oo.
And the parents get together,
Yes, there's time to socialize.
they
So,
actually, have outdoor activities and everything, camping, mga
oo,
ganon.
oo.
There's
Yes, there's many ways that just because you're homeschooling your child doesn't mean that you're hiding them from the rest of the world. Now lang, no, because of COVID, di ba?
Kasi meron
Pero
na yan eh.
in normal times na we can go out, ang dami hong ways that you can have interaction with other
Yes,
children.
at least now there are many programs. Mas marami na kumpara noon. Pero wag natin titingnan na during the past, when the Philippines was still very much tribal, the tribal way of life.
Ako,
Makikita mo,
matagal na yun.
inaalaga. Hanggang ngayon naman, may mga tribes pa eh.
Yeah.
Inaalagaan pa rin nila yung mga anak nila. They're seeing to it that they are raising their child
Educated
properly and
properly.
educated. Kasi ang approach nila sa edukasyon, iba eh. Diba?
There's a lot to learn from the tribal people. Yan ang sinasabi ko when I mention lifelong learning. Tito Toby and I have had some interaction work and learning experiences from the tribal people. They have so much
So much
to share
values
with
that you can
us.
pick up on it,
Yes.
and then it makes you a better person.
Yeah. That's what we mean. You know, when you're a lifelong learner, maski anong situation, you're always picking up something new. There's always something new to learn. It's wonderful.
Well, even for us this age, it's like even if we're seniors, we have to learn about emails and mga apps
Yan na yung
and,
aming challenge.
and all sorts of gadgets and everything.
Yeah, in
You
fact,
can-
para hindi tayo maging sinay, di ba we
you
really
gotta-
should learn
you gotta
something.
learn. Everybody has
Yes.
to learn continuously.
Yes.
It's something. It's ongoing.
Yeah, alam mo, there's a saying, actually totoo ito, the human brain, if you fully utilize your human brain, you can easily speak 6 languages.
Naku, hindi utilize masyado yung akin.
Tagalog lang, English.
I just know 2 languages.
Kaya, yung kapasidad nila,
Oh,
alalahanin
marami
nyo,
pang space, ha?
as humans, we have a very long memory.
Mm-mm.
Matagal ang memory natin. At saka, ang kapasidad natin to be able to take in a lot more. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
can I
important.
just answer a question? There's a question here from Mai. She's asking, how do you handle multi-level homeschooling?
Mhm.
I mentioned before in Mai that I actually had my children together, right? Iba-iba sila ng level. I just, like I said, I get them started with their class. Well, let's say, okay, an easy way to do it is say, okay, we're all doing math now, or now all social studies, yeah? Or everybody's studying geography. Sometimes if you're the homeschooling mom and you read ahead already, no? Kasi alam mo, yung mga sa school, usually you take the same subject over and over naman the same lesson over and over in different levels. Yun nga lang, as you go higher, mas may information. So sometimes I know that, okay, at some point, they all have to learn, say, about volcanoes. Okay, then we have a day, we just do it parang modular. Modular is the easiest way to do everything. Modular. Now, okay, today we're going to learn all about volcanoes. And then, of course, for the older child, I'll discuss something that everybody can understand. And then for the older child, he will get a seat work or a research or an assignment that is more to his level. Yeah. And then the younger ones will have something easier. For example, di ba volcano, may experiment yan with suka, baking soda, ganyan, no? That's fun for everybody. Where you pour it in and para siyang nag-erupt. So, sometimes, I mean, that's actually the best way when you can put things together. Everyone takes it, but then you give them different work.
Also, like when I was teaching multi-level, I also had games and activities.
Yeah,
for
that's
the whole
very
group.
nice
They
for
love
everyone.
games,
Yes.
contests. Of course, you
Yes.
vary the questions according to their level,
Yeah.
but they like the whole exciting
Yes.
activity.
And sometimes we have little skits.
yes,
Or we have a trip, okay, we're going to go to the farm, we're going to learn how to plant this kind of thing, so it's exciting for everybody.
Yeah, it's actually, minsan this is where the fun is. Like I'm an athlete, yeah. I had that energy during those times, and
We would play basketball together,
we
the whole
become
family.
playmates. Naglalaro kami together. My children grew up with me this way. So now most of them are athletic too.
Yeah.
The skills were, kasi it's the goals that you set. Kasi, right, the challenges that you have to put on the ground for them is very crucial. Kasi you have to look at the components of values all the time. Di ba? Yung disiplina, yung commitment, kailangan malinis sila dyan, kailangan maayos sila dito, kailangan fair sila. Kunyari may ka-team kayo, kailangan may teamwork.
sportsmanship.
Yeah, kasama lahat yan
Yeah.
Kaya importante, there's the extracurricular activity is always very crucial. And because the environment of that is something that you have to look at too. You see, it's a healthy environment for socializing with one another. But because it's a sporting activity or it has some sort of requirement of a certain standard ng kanilang deliverables ng mga bata, so nandun pa rin yung values.
Oo,
you
may
know.
physical education na, may values
Oo.
formation ka pa. Tsaka, Tito Toby, He's a beekeeper. We're all beekeepers. My children grow up in the yard. Sometimes I say, in beekeeping, you learn about the environment. You learn about food. You learn about, bees are
Weather.
social. Yeah, you learn about
Climate.
the weather. You learn about trees, plants, seasons. It's a whole package in itself. A lot of learning happens with that one thing. So this is actually one pointer as a teacher, mother teacher, parent teacher. Na you will always have to watch out for teachable moments. Sometimes even in the kitchen, you're able to teach your child mathematics,
Yeah, measurements.
yeah, measurements, science, that.
ratio,
Sometimes we're just
proportion.
driving somewhere. Oh, during the time we're driving, we're teaching the children all about the trees. May contest sila. Name that tree. Yung pinakamaraming na name na trees, may prize, It's really, it's very, when once you get into the mode of I'm teaching my children, then you will always find teachable moments. Yeah. And when your child asks you a question, that's the best time to teach them because they're ready for the answer.
Kaya that's why lifelong education is a lifelong thing. Up to this point, ito nga recently, I would share like I reinforce what she was saying. Our bee yards, our bee farms, were diyan kami nagpipiknik
Yeah,
as
you
a
could
family.
stay there all day.
We could be staying around, parang yun ang park namin. Kasi kadalasan yung mga bee yards namin, it's out in parks, magaganda yung lugar eh.
Tsaka sinabi nyo, may mga waterfalls pa
Yeah.
along the zigzag sa
Oh, yeah.
Quezon.
We would stop and take a dip.
Quezon.
So it became a nature immersion for many of them, for most children. And then what happened was, as they grew up, ito na.
Natural that they like the environment,
Yes.
that they take care of the environment.
And there's always that appreciation in those moments that they would say, "Oh, when we were here, this is something that we remembered as a child."
Yes.
So these are very important, memorable moments. Would rise up in so many ways. There will be problems. Natural yun eh. Hindi naman sa mundo naman to eh. Kung meron saya, may lungkot din.
Pero at least they're happy, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi alam mo, before I had the opportunity to, may bagong pasok sa aking group na in homeschool. Grade 5 na siya pumasok sa group namin. Naku, pag may test, parang lalagnatin, parang
Nervyos.
nag-absent. Sabi ko, bakit absent? Ganon, sabi ko. Then I found out talaga natatakot siya sa mga tests. And then I taught her that, relax. It's not a failure for you,
Yes.
kasi gusto niya laging 90 plus yung mga scores niya. But for her to accept also na pag nagkakamali, okay lang.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know?
point nga. You learn something eh. Sometimes if we need to make a mistake to learn something. Yeah.
And even in homeschool, sometimes minsan akala natin pag wala kang kaklase, walang competition.
Oh.
Sa pataasan ng grade, meron ganyan yan.
Oo.
Meron yan, But actually, more of the values of cooperation is that what we try to educate them with. But yet, striving for the excellence. That's why when they learn discipline early, they learn to be responsible early, they're inspired to do what they need to be doing and the responsibilities that they have for education. So definitely, that will give them the results that is so desired. And if you find where they're good at, their specialties, yung niche nila, this is the crucial part. You have to find, every person has that ability their potential
Huwag nating ipipilit yung ating gustong career para sa kanila.
Oh,
Di ba?
yes. Give them that
Dream
choice.
ko dati maging ballet dancer or doktor. Sa anak ko na lang ang pagagawin. Siya na lang mag-aral ng medicine.
You want
hindi
them
ba?
to live out your
Live
dreams
out your
naman,
dream,
no?
hindi ba? O kasi yung dream nila para kumita ng pera and everything, iangat yung pamilya from poverty. So sometimes they're artists, sabihin, ay walang pera dyan, hindi ba?
Which is not necessarily true, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi on the end of the day, there's also a component of simplicity for them to learn. Kasi yung simplicity sa buhay, katulad ngayon, nagkagulo-gulo tayo dahil dito sa pandemic. Ang dami nating inaasahan, ang buhay natin biglang nagkapalit-palit.
Yeah,
So,
upside down,
sanay
inside
ka
out.
masyado sa ganitong way of life. Biglang suddenly tinanggal sa iyo yan. Kailangan naka-lockdown kayo.
But
there's
then it's also a learning experience,
a learning
right? For all
experience
of
din
us.
yan. So one has to understand that sa buhay, may mga bagay na hindi natin makokontrol. But if we capacitate ourselves and our children, our community, our family, our community, we add. Kaya sinabi ko yung community kasi on the end of the day, it takes a community. Sometimes ngayon, no, katulad ngayon dito sa aming lugar sa mga probinsya, talagang kasi limitado ang facilities ng tao, mahirap tugunan o what will be the type of education they will follow during this COVID time. May dilemma ngayon lahat ng mga magulang. Kasi sasabihin nila, sir, hindi naman kami educated eh. Hanggang grade school lang ako or ganito lang ang inabot ko. Dahil malayo ang eskwelahan nung araw eh. Hindi ma-afford ng aking mga magulang na mapaaral ako. O isa lang o dalawa lang ang napaaral talaga nila. Yung ganun eh. Ito ang kwento ng ating mga pamilya sa Bukirin sa mga probinsya. So ngayon, yung nagkaroon itong pandemic, paano ngayon natin gagawin yung pagtuturo sa kanila? Ito yung kanilang nagiging dilemma. But alam nyo, when a community comes together,
Yes.
you draw the skill. Yung may mga parent-teacher, organization and association. Teachers and the principals of school should sit down and actually iron out these things. What are the
Yes.
resources present in the community that sends their kids to school?
And there are so many retired teachers,
Yes.
who
Yes.
are out of jobs,
Yes.
but they have this whole experience of
A
being
wealth of information.
Yes.
able to teach through the years, so
Yes.
pwede sila makatulong talaga.
And we should also may ganito eh. Kaya sometimes when I hear that, hindi kakayanin ng mga magulang kasi hindi sila educated. Pero tingnan din natin ang ibang pananaw rito. Alam niyo, pag sinabing hindi sila na-educate in an academic way, pero pag titingnan niyo yung mga farming communities, sila nga yung nagpapakain sa atin eh.
Oo nga.
Ang dami nilang alam na hindi natin
At saka
alam.
before, when I had this group of students to teach, I had a very simple mother, and I said, okay, this is how you teach the kids to read. Okay, these are the vowels, these are the, combinations, blends, and sounds, mga ganun. I just taught her the process.
Yes.
Gumawa siya ng materials niya, siya nagturo.
Yes.
Simple, nagawa
That's
niya.
it. You can
Okay?
ask for help.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need to get over one small obstacle
Yes.
and then you're going na.
Yes.
This morning on our way here, so kasi ngayon taniman na ngayon ng palay eh. So I saw a dad and a teenage, siguro ito mga sa 13 or 14 years old. Nakikita mo eh, mini-mentor niya kung paano itanim yung palay.
Nice.
So alam mo, parang
Hi, thank you.
mukhang
Because
madali
another
yata gawin.
generation has to
Mukhang
plant
madali
this.
yata magtanim ng palay ah. Simple lang, you don't need a brain. So totoo lang.
Oh, it's a whole
not
science,
There's
no?
a science
Yeah.
behind even
It's a
planting, preparing
Yes.
preparing the field, ang dami components of learning dyan na matututunan ng tao. Ang actual pagkukulang lang is to open them up to more avenues of a potential of what they have as in a farming community.
Remember, learning doesn't only happen from books.
Yes, also. It's a field. It's a rice field meron.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall
Okay.
I
Yes.
move on to my segment
Yes,
on the
please.
wealth of wisdom, and I would like to share with you a video na pinrepare ko po on some quotes that are connected to education. So, ipapakita po natin yung video ngayon. Para sa yugto po natin ng wealth of wisdom sa araw na ito, ay pag-usapan natin po ang pinakamagandang edukasyon na makukuha natin bilang mga nilalang. Ang unang-una pong kukunin ko ay nanggaling dito sa isang booklet ni Jagadguru Siddhaswarupananda. At sinabi po niya tungkol sa education na the best education po na makukuha natin ay yung nagbibigay ng isang environment for thoughtfulness. In other words, ito pong sitwasyon ng isang mag-aaral ay hindi lang po nagme-memorize, kung hindi siya ay nagkakaroon ng capacity or kakayahan para mag-isip ng malalim tungkol sa buhay. At ang tunay na edukasyon ay balanse, material na pangangailangan at espiritual na pangangailangan. At karagdagan po dito ay unang-una ay ibabahagi ko po dalawang salawikain or dalawang kasabihan sa Spanish at saka sa mga Persian. Ang unang-una po ay self-knowledge is the beginning of self-improvement. Ang may alam ukol sa sarili, ang simula ng pagbuti ng nilalang. Napakasimple po. Ang pagkilala natin sa ating katauhan, knowledge about ourselves, o tinatawag po ng iba na self-realization. Ito po ang umpisa ng tinatawag natin pagbuti or self-improvement. So tayo po, lalong-lalo na sa lockdown, gustong-gusto po natin magkaroon tayo ng improvement habang tayo nasa kwarto natin, nasa maliit na bahay. Habang sa buhay, meron din tayong mga goals na iniisip natin na yung mga goals na yan ay gusto natin magkaroon tayo ng progress sa buhay natin. So, pinakagusto po natin ay gumaganda at umaangat ang ating kabuhayan or ating buhay. So, ang unang-una po ay self-improvement ay nag-uumpisa sa pagkakilala natin sa sarili natin. At sino nga ba talaga tayo? Who are we? Who are you? Who am I? Ang tinuturo rin po ni Jagadguru sa Science of Identity ay tayo po ay hindi itong material na katawan, hindi tayong pag-iisip, tayo po yung mga spiritual na nilalang. Kaya ang ating kaligayahan ay nasa spiritual na dimension or spiritual na platform, no? Kaya po, kailangan ang edukasyon ay balanse, may material para sa material na pangangailangan ng katawan at spiritual para po yan sa sarili. Yung spiritual food natin po ay para sa ating self-improvement. So, pagkaalam natin na sino talaga tayo, then we can move forward, we can actually find happiness. Kasi alam natin na hindi po nasa material na mundo ang kaligayahan dahil hindi naman tayo material, kung hindi po nasa spiritual ang kaligayahan. At dito tayo gusto nating magkaroon ng progress rin sa spiritual at journey natin sa buhay. Ang susunod po nating kasabihan mula sa mga Persians, mga lumang mga kasabihan. The wise man who does not put his knowledge into practice is like a bee that gives no honey. Ang pantas o yung sinasabi nating sage or wise man na hindi isinasagawa ang kanyang kaalaman ay tulad ng bubuyog na walang pulot na ibinibigay. Di ba alam po natin na ang bubuyog ay very busy. Lagi po siyang nagtatrabaho. Ginagawa niya, kumukuha siya ng nectar sa mga bulaklak at gumagawa siya ng honey. Kaya po tayo nakakatikim ng honey ay dahil po merong mga bubuyog na nagtatrabaho. Gayon din, ma-appreciate po natin din sa buhay natin na kung gusto natin may katamisan ng ating existence, meron tayong tamis na nalalasap. So sinasabi dito na para tayo magkaroon ng honey, mag-produce tayo ng honey, para tayo ay magkaroon ng sweet nectar sa ating buhay, ay maganda po kung tayo ay magsasagawa ng ating, in other words, yung kaalaman natin ay i-translate natin into action. So action is very important. Kahit po meron tayong maraming kaalaman, kahit marami po tayong nabasang libro, marami tayong pinapanood ng mga shows na para tayong magkaroon ng kaalaman, or marami na tayong narinig na magandang wisdom, marami tayong kaalaman na inipon dahil sa ating pagbasa. Importante po yung action. So, sinasabi na ang tunay na wisdom ay merong katapat na action. So, kailangan pong i-apply. Kung meron tayong nalalaman tungkol sa sarili natin that we are spiritual, then we have to have spiritual activity. Meron po tayong ginagawa. Meron tayong performance of activities tulad po ng meditation. Para yan ay yung practical application ng pagkuha ng katamisan. Ito yung spiritual happiness. So we have actions like reading, mga banal na kasulatan, meron tayong prayer, meron tayong introspection, meron din po tayong kindness towards others, meron tayong, kumbaga, meron tayong service to God by praying to Him, by praying and actually understanding who we are. Meron din tayong magandang gawain para sa pagtulong sa ating mga kapatid. Pagtulong po sa mga ibang tao at pagtulong na rin sa kalikasan. Lahat po yan ay mga simple actions na pwede nating sabihin na para tayong mga bubuyog. Para tayong mga bubuyog na nagpo-produce ng honey. So itong honey na ito ay hindi lang po para gawing matamis ang ating buhay, matamis ang ating existence, kung hindi, magbigay rin po tayo ng tamis sa ibang tao. Mag-share tayo ng nectar, mag-share tayo ng honey with the people around us, with the world, with everyone that we meet. Ito po yung tunay na wisdom and knowledge. Ito po yung tunay na education. Merong understanding, and also, there is action and activity. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Okay. Thank you very much to everybody who listened into our segment on wisdom. So let's wrap up.
Yes.
Ano na tayo sa summary natin.
Alalahanin nyo, education is a lifelong thing. So how you value education and paano minumulat-mulat sa ating pananaw at sa pag-iisip. And we equip our own children. We capacitate them on what it will take so that education, there's always a room for learning new things.
Yes.
Even if we reach the senior years, there's things that you can be doing and learning. And, kadalasan yan when one is in the senior years, if you are a type of person that made education as a lifelong thing, there will be a lot of wealth of information and wisdom that you can be sharing so much to others. Ito ang importante. Kasi, alam nyo, sa buhay ng tao, may mga phases yan eh. Alam nyo, when you reach a certain age na dapat by, late 40s or 50s ka na, wisdom na ang ano mo eh. Dahil marami ka nang nare-realize dyan eh. Marami ka nang na-experience sa buhay na may babahagi mo, hindi lang sa pamilya mo, kundi sa iyong komunidad.
And may I say that if you educate then your children or even your friends about, share with them wisdom, dadating rin yung point, sila rin mag-share sa iyo ng wisdom.
Yes.
Sasabihin, wag mong kalimutan, suffering in this world is temporary. Biglang papaalalahanan ka.
Yes.
Kung magdasal ka sa Diyos, wag mong kalimutan, kaibigan natin ang Diyos. They are the ones who will remind you also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As a parent, if we continue to learn by our example, our children will also be like that. And they'll pass it on to their children. So together, let's go on this nice adventure of lifelong learning.
It's a journey. Make this journey very exciting and meaningful.
Yes.
As human beings, di ba? We have a higher purpose. Our role goes just beyond us, beyond terms on just to feed our families, economic activities, and yung buhay lang natin dito. No. let's take this life so seriously and achieve its true goal. Katulad ng naibabanggit ko sa mga past yugto, di ba? Lahat tayo sa mundo na to, meron tayong particular task that we need to perform and to contribute for the betterment of everybody else. Di ba? As human beings, we are responsible for many things. We need to care for one another. We need to care for the environment and all the living entities that includes it. These are all our responsibility. It's about experiencing true service, a deeper service. Okay, that service begins at home. Mold your child to be like, as he grows up, to be a servant leader type.
And also learning, hindi lang tayo ang teacher. We should also be students at certain
Right.
times.
Yes.
We should learn, be open to learning from other people, from other teachers, from experts, even from our children. They may
Yes,
even
even
more
from our
mature-
children.
mature
Really.
souls. Kasi
Yes.
some children come into this world, they are quite mature. Hindi ba? And they have, biglang may sasabihin na, wow, napakaganda nung sinabi nung batang yun.
Yes, yes.
So we are very humble enough to learn, and we're grateful to those who have given us also the education that we need.
Maraming po salamat
Okay,
sa
we
inyong
could
lahat.
go
Sa
on
susunod.
forever on this topic. It's very
Education
interesting.
ay sa
Thank
buhay
you
ng
for
tao.
listening.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa
Yeah.
inyo sa susunod.
Thank
Please,
you.
wag po
Okay.
kayo magsawa.
Chandra,
Thank you.
take it away.
Maraming salamat, Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, and Tita Socorro. Ako personally, ang dami kong natutunan sa segment na yon. Tama po kayo na learning is a continuous process. It is a lifelong journey. And it need not be just, dependent on, for example, our parents, but it's a whole community that can guide us, and we can learn at any point in time nga po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong tatlo for sharing your wisdom on that. Okay, so sa mga viewers, maraming salamat for being with us and learning with us in this episode. I'd like to just greet some of those who are watching. We have Hari Capulong, who is watching from La Union. Mary Salazar, good morning. To Maria Lota Matias, she shared the contact details for Gopala Learning Haven, whom we interviewed kanina, no? Si Teacher Lakshmi. And then we have also Clifford, Lorenzo Gonzalez. Sabi niya, go Palakas. Maraming salamat. And we have Malit De Leon, si Vraja, all the way, I think, from New Zealand. And Rex Asuncion, who thanks us. Maraming salamat rin sa inyo sa pagtangkilik ninyo sa aming programa today. I'd like to say hi also to Ivy Villamor, who said maraming salamat sa informative segment. Hello to Sir Rolly. Good morning. And good morning rin to Gilbert Pasqua. Yan. So before we go to our next segment, we'll take a short break. But please, there's more to learn. Stay with us.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.
Magbabalik ang Go Palakas! Go Palakas! Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, the future of radio. This is your all-hits, all-Pinoy internet radio station. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. Oh, 81 Radio. Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
Balikan na natin ang Gopalakas! Gopalakas! Kasama si Core Evangelista at Attorney Jai Tamayo. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Hello to everybody. For those of you who are joining us just now, it has been a very interesting morning. We had Teacher Laksmi from the Homeschool Association of the Philippine Islands, or HAPPY, who basically shared with us, the different learning delivery options that is now available. Dahil sa pandemic, inaiba po ang ating edukasyon dito sa ating bansa and para sa mga estudyante. So in-explain ni Teacher Lakshmi kanina na may mga options na meron tayo, and specifically yung sa homeschooling. Kasi she is also a homeschooling advocate. She was a homeschooler. She was raised by her mother in homeschool way. And then tinuloy po yan nila Tito Toby, ni Tita Marisa, at saka ni Tita Socorro, talking more about how homeschooling is something that is actually not really something is easy. It's not something that we need to be intimidated about, because we have support groups, you have your community, and you have other people who can help in this. And of course, tinakal rin po ni Tita Socorro yung importance ng edukasyon, not only material education but spiritual education as well, para ho buo or rounded po ang edukasyon natin at ng mga anak natin or ng komunidad or ng society. So, yan po ang natakal natin this morning, and we will move on to the next segment. Unfortunately, hindi makasama si Gore this morning. Dapat sinabi ko kanina, susunod siya, pero nagkakaroon siya ng problema. So, it's just me today, this morning. Thank you so much though for still staying with me and learning with me in today's episode of Gopalakas. So, we'll now move on to the next segment, and we will learn more about how we can properly nourish our children, ourselves and our children, with the good food. Can we play the video, please? We have a video from the good food.
A healthy community starts at home. As mothers ourselves, we know that food nurtures and heals.
Hi everyone, welcome back to The Good Food. I'm Chris.
I'm Nimai. Today we'll be featuring the flower butterfly pea,
or Vishnu Kanta,
or some know it as blue ternati. Butterfly pea is gaining popularity in the culinary scene. It's often used in salads and seen on desserts because of its vibrant indigo color. The simplest way to prepare these edible flowers is by using them in tea. Vishnu Kanta, blue ternati, or butterfly pea boasts a number of benefits. Enhances memory, improves sleep, relieves stomachache, boosts immune system, and relieves pain are just a few of its many benefits. For those of us who are trying to lessen our coffee intake, here's a non-caffeinated drink to warm your morning. Here are the simple steps on how to prepare the butterfly pea tea. Separate the petals and place them in your cup. Pour hot water and let it steep for 3 to 4 minutes. Add your choice of sweetener. For flavor, you can add lemongrass, ginger, calamansi, or lemon. Or you can take it as it is. Adding calamansi or lemon will change its color from blue to purple. For humid days, you can turn this into a nice refreshing drink. After steeping your tea, allow it to cool down. Mix calamansi in your choice of sweetener. Add ice in your butterfly pea tea. Stir and serve. Now Chris will show you a natural way to color your food using these flowers.
Filipinos love their white rice. However, we highly encourage you to eat red or brown rice as they are healthier alternatives. But if white rice is what you have, then that's okay. You can add butterfly pea water to turn it into this nice, vibrant blue rice. To prepare this, start by washing your rice, then drain. Pour the butterfly pea water into the pot. Let it cook, same time as you would cook regular rice. Serve. Tips for storing. Store the leftover blue water in a glass bottle and keep it in the fridge. Or turn it into ice cubes. To dry, place the flowers in a tray and air dry in a cool, dry place away from the sun. Once it's dry, store it in an airtight container.
Thank you for spending your Saturday with us.
See you next week.
Bye!
Ayun, maraming salamat to Nimay Tamayo and Christine Tamayo. Sila po yung dalawang moms in the video and who is in charge of our sharing recipes in the good food. So si Christine Tamayo po, siya ay isang certified plant-based professional and has been on a plant-based diet for 20 years. Meron rin siyang FB page niya, My Plant-Based Kitchen. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. And yun, nakita nyo sa video rin, sa dulo ng video yung kanyang anak. Si Nimay Tamayo naman has been a vegetarian since birth and is a mom of 3 boys. And homeschool parent rin siya. So every week they are sharing with us different recipes and tips on how we can prepare nutritious food for our family and for our children. And today nga, they featured yung butterfly pea or Vishnu Kanta. So, kung gusto nga daw natin na mas nutritious ang pagkain, pwede pala yun. Pwede palang i-add sa white rice para maging nutritious siya and color too. And mga bata, usually mas gusto nila yan pag may kulay ang pagkain. So, maraming salamat, Christine and Nimay. So, again, kung meron po kayong mga tanong or meron po kayong request sa ating any of the segment hosts in terms of for example, recipes or topics, you can always send us a message on the Gopalakas hotline, all right, on Globe. We can be contacted at 0977-681-7315 and for Smart, 096-155-71944. Yan, pwede nyo po ipadala ang inyong mga tanong or requests. Don't forget na ibanggit ang inyong pangalan at kung taga saan po kayo. Okay? So, we're gonna now lead on to the last segment of this show. Before we do that, we'll on a short break muna. So, see you in a few minutes.
Kalusugan, Kalikasan, Gopalakas. Haribo, Haribo, Nitay ko,
Ma-enjoy ang pakikinig sa V81 Radio kahit saan. We are now on your Amazon Echo devices. Just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio at i-enjoy ang inyong mga paboritong Pinoy music 24/7. Sabihin lang, Alexa, play V81 Radio. Balikan na natin ang Gopalakas! Gopalakas! Kasama si Core Evangelista at Attorney Jai Tamayo. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Okay, ayan. Maraming salamat uli sa inyong staying with us. We are now at the last part of our show, the last segment, which is dedicated to music meditation. So sa ating programa, marami po tayong ibang tinatakay. And for today, ang pinag-uusapan natin ay edukasyon. And so for this last part, importante rin po sa edukasyon ng mga bata, kagaya ng sinabi ni Tita Marisa kanina na mabigyan sila ng iba't ibang avenues of showing their creativity. And so music is one of them. And with this music meditation, hindi lang siya something na educational in a way that they can practice their music, but at the same time, it is it's a process or a type of prayer, okay, that we can practice or that we can do daily. So, ang music meditation po ay very simple process of relaxing our minds, okay, being able to give our minds a sense of focus, a sense of clarity, and just being able to relieve it of whatever kung ano mang pinag-worry natin ngayon or nagsistress sa atin ngayon. Meditation is actually a very helpful practice for this, and it can be practiced by not only mga matatanda, pero pati mga bata. Lalo na po yung music meditation dahil masaya po siya gawin at simple lang po. So to talk more about it, I will be calling on the show ang host for Music Meditation, si Manu Gonzalez. He is from Music Meditation PH, and pag-uusapan niya at i-share niya sa atin ang simpleng proseso na to na pwede nating gawin sa ating pamilya or sa ating mga bahay.
Hello po. Thank you, Gore. Thank you rin sa ating mga segment host para sa mga napakagandang mga wisdom na shinare nila ngayon. At sa ating mga nakikinig, ako po si Manu. Siya po ay si Sita. Welcome to Music Meditation, kung saan po tayo ay mag-suspend ng konting time para i-relax ang ating puso at isipan sa mga healing sounds. It's always good na bago magtapos ang ating programa na mag-music meditation tayo ng sandali. At ang magsisimula ay si Sita. Sita, please.
Good morning sa lahat. Let's take this time to relax. Humanap ng komportableng mauupuan. Ngayon, pansinin natin ang ating paghinga. Now, slowly inhale, iangat ang mga balikat malapit sa tenga. At sa pag-exhale, hayaang bumagsak ang mga balikat kasama ang mga tensyon. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Ngayon, dahang-dahang isara ang inyong mga mata. Bilang practitioner at isang tao na nag-benefit sa practice na ito, gusto kong i-share ang napaka-practical and relaxing na breathing meditation technique kung saan gagamit tayo ng healing sound sabay sa paghinga. Simulan natin sa paghinga ng natural ng 3 beses. Ngayon, maririnig natin ang healing sound na goranga. Sa bawat inhale, maaari nating pakinggan ng buong puso at sambitin ng tahimik sa ating isipan ang goranga. At sa bawat exhale, sabay nating sabihin ng malumanay ang goranga.
Goranga. Goranga. Goranga. Goranga.
Hayaan ang napakagandang healing sound na ito na dumaloy sa ating isipan at hayaang manatili sa ating puso. Ang healing sound meditation ay may katangian na magparelax at magbigay peacefulness sa ating puso at isipan. At dahan-dahan nating matutuklasan ang likas na karunungan o inherent wisdom na meron ng bawat isa sa atin.
Haribo ni Taigo ni Taigor Haribo Haribo ni Taigo ni Taigor Haribo Haribo ni Taigo ni Taigor Haribo Haribo ni Taigor ni Taigor Haribo Haribo ni Taigor ni Taigor Haribo Haribo ni Taigor ni Taigor Haribo Haribo Nitaigo Nitaigo 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 Haribo Ayan. Maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon. Salamat ulit sa Gopalakas at ating mga segment hosts. Sa ulitin mga kaibigan, back to you Gore, back to you Jai.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Manu. Unfortunately, wala nga si Gore at saka si Jai this morning dahil meron silang mga tech problems. Unfortunately, parte na rin yan ng buhay natin, buhat ng COVID or ng pandemic. Maraming salamat to Manu and si Sita, kanyang asawa. Okay, so nandito na po tayo sa dulo ng ating programa. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik ng Gopalakas. We hope that you learned a lot from today's episode, which was focused on education, because I can say I myself have learned so much from all the different segments that we've shown. So for more music meditation sessions pala, if you enjoy that and if you want to practice it on your own, pwede nyo pong sundan ang mga sessions nila Manu sa Music Meditation PH. On Instagram po yan at Facebook. At saka sa lahat ng mga nanonood, kung pwede nyo rin kaming tulungan para pabutihin ang programang ito, we'd appreciate if you could also answer our survey, which can be found on bit.ly GRP 8th episode. So ilalagay po namin yan sa comment section para po makita ninyo at marinig po namin ang inyong feedback about Gopalakas, this 8th episode. So that ends today's show. We'd like to, of course, thank all of you who have been watching, who watched today, and who have been watching from before. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat sa V81 Radio. Siyempre, kina Sir Rolly, Sir Rally, kay Miguel, at sa the rest of the team, sa pagtulong ninyo sa amin dito sa Gopalakas. And please follow us rin pala on the Gopalakas page on Facebook and Instagram then. So we hope that you enjoyed today's show, and we will be bringing more interesting topics in the next few weeks. Every Saturday po yan, 10 a.m. Please come back and join us again for the next episode of Gopalakas. My name is Chandra. I'm filling in today for Gore and for Jai. And maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Have a good weekend.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.
pangkalusugan at pangkalikasan, samahan sina Gore Evangelista at Attorney Jai Tamayo sa pagpapaunlad ng kalusugan sa katawan, isipan at espiritual. Go Palakas! Go Palakas! Pangkalusugan at pangkalikasan tuwing Sabado, 10 a.m. Philippine Time. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, the future of radio. This is your all hits, all Pinoy internet radio station. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.